Well, this Africa Day, we're celebrating African art, and I'm delighted to be speaking to renowned composer and producer Lebo M. He is a Grammy Award winner, world famous for his collaboration with Hans Zimmer on the soundtrack there that you heard of the Lion King movie. Lebo M. left school at the age of 9 to perform. He was not only recognized by locals in South Africa and Lesotho, but a U.S. Ambassador made arrangements for him to join a school of music in Washington. Ultimately, he established himself as a Hollywood-based musician, and he lives in both Johannesburg and Los Angeles. Lebo M, welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us. I'm interested to know where is home right now for you, the US or South Africa? How do you divide your time?
Well, home is beautiful South Africa. It has been for quite a while, even though I do have a base in Los Angeles. But I'm happy to say home for me is South Africa, has always been and will probably always be, even though I may have a base here and there.
And that's great for us to hear. It is Africa Day, so we can celebrate you as an African musician. And you brought African sounds, not only to The Lion King, but other famous movies and tracks. Throughout your career, have you just been working, putting your head down, or have you felt that burden, if I can call it, that you are always, in a sense, an ambassador for your country and for your continent?
Well, I don't feel it's a burden. I'm very proud to have the responsibility as a South African, as an African, to represent who I am first, and the arts and culture globally, and to represent the aspirations of the people of Africa, inspired by who I am as a South African. So I don't feel a burden at all.
Yeah, and do you carry it with you? I mean, that sense of when you're on a global platform, people look at you as an African artist. You're carrying us all with you, in a sense.
It's all I've been from day one. My entire career, 100% of it, my work, all the movies, Broadway productions. I just came from probably the most successful post-COVID European tour of myself and Hans Zimmer, and in it is Lebo M, the South African, Lebo M, the African composer, producer, and performer. So I don't even attempt to differentiate that in any way, shape, or form. I'm not a jazz artist. I'm not an R&B. I'm not a hip-hop. I'm a South African and African producer and artist and performer. And I'm grateful that my career has gotten the attention of the world solely because of who I am and where I come from.
Your talent was clear when you were a kid, but it was nurtured overseas in the US. Is there hope for young artists here who are looking up to you, who want to achieve, but who maybe won't get that opportunity? What sort of difference did it make?
Well, my talent, or who I am as an artist's foundation, is South Africa, is the people of South Africa, is the aspirations of the people of South Africa and the African continent. That has not changed. Obviously, from a global stage and a global business platform, I grew up in Hollywood, and my career basically begins in Hollywood. But the foundation of who I am as a South African artist and as an African artist is a small place called Tladi Township and an institution in Orlando called the Pelican, where at age 14, I began to enter the rest of my life and the rest of my career as a performing artist.
And is that what you would pass on to young people, a sense that there is opportunity and inspiration right here?
I've always maintained, though times have changed, and I still maintain that the idea of success globally depends heavily on who you are, what you represent, and what your aspirations are in any field, especially in the creative arts. History has proven that the biggest success out of the continent of Africa in my area of the business are your Yusundu, your Huma Sikela, your Miriam Makeba, your Lady Smith Black Mambazo, who have a particular identity and a particular contribution to the world, even though we all borrow from various cultures and inspirations from other people from all over the world, who we are makes us stand out. So I'm a firm believer in that. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm interested, how are you feeling about South Africa, which you say is your long-term home? There has been disillusionment here with politics, corruption, and of course, COVID-19 has affected the art world heavily, not only in financial losses, but so much talent has been lost. Do you know colleagues suffering or thriving and thinking about the future like you can?
Well, obviously, COVID hit us all around the world, but I have to say, particularly in South Africa, before, during, and after COVID, as practitioners in this sector, we've never gotten attention, both from government and business, in the manner that makes us globally competitive, which allows us to create quality product that's globally competitive. So there's the aspect of COVID, there's aspect of many other things that stand in the way of success. But the reality is, I don't particularly believe that there's been a national strategy that is focused on and based on the creative arts as the true ambassadors of our country around the world and our culture. Unfortunately, I don't believe there's still such a strategy or such a vision, and I insist both on business and our political infrastructure. If you look around the world, most of the most successful cultures, including America, that are successful is because of a relationship between business, government, and politics. So unfortunately, as positive and hopeful as I am, and by the way, happy Africa Day to everyone, I still believe very strongly that we don't have a sense of strategic direction led by business and the political infrastructure to really build quality product, quality content that represents who we are as a people around the world.
Which will uplift culture as well. Thank you for raising that. On a different tack, we are watching the Johnny Depp, the trial involving him, that's on the global stage, and I think it highlights some of the problems with fame. You've spoken out about the pitfalls in your career, your own family life. You've admitted you weren't always a great husband or father. There was a reality show. Where are you now? What have you learned over the years that you can pass on? How are your family relationships?
Well, thank you for that. First of all, I'm a very proud 17-year-old recovering alcoholic. And I'm truly honored and blessed that I'm home right now, this moment, and have accepted an invitation in Orange Farm to speak in the platform of Empower Youth Week to young people about recovery, about addiction, about alcohol. I know nothing about drugs. I've never done any drugs. But 17 years ago, I was freed from probably the worst disease in human history, alcoholism, which is at the same time empowered me to be sober, has empowered me to not only understand society that I come from, South Africa, the taboos related to alcohol or alcoholism. It's almost like to say I'm Lebo M and I'm an alcoholic. In South Africa, unlike most countries in the world, particularly United States and Los Angeles, it's still a taboo. Yeah. So I'm very honored and proud that I'm going to be participating in this on Friday in Orange Farm, so that one is able to share a little bit of my journey, share a little bit of what it means to be 17 years sober, period. My personal life, I'm very happy, I'm very excited, I'm very hopeful, very busy the whole year post-COVID, looking forward to greater adventures. I'm about to go to London now to participate in the Queen's 25th Jubilee. I'm about to go to a concert in Budapest, and it's exciting. But I'm very passionate about participating also as a citizen, as a South African citizen, in some of the ills of society that are not normally spoken about and that are still currently taboo. So this opportunity to appear and speak to young people on Friday is very dear to me. My personal life, my family life is intact.
Well, thank you. I was going to ask you about your future ventures, and thank you for bringing this up. I really hope it helps a lot of people to overcome. Lebo M speaking out about your journey with alcoholism.